here. What's up, Stealth? Stealth. We're waiting on Stealth to hop on. Stealth, hop on,
What's
man.
up, brother? I just want to say this is why we need more non-FBA people out here in LA to protect us and run for office. I know it's dangerous, but we just gonna have to step our security up and get in power so we can get behind the scenes and hear these things and actually do something about them. Until we do that,
Yeah,
I don't know what to say. Build the wall. And what's up with all these non-FBA gangs that we have all around LA posted in killer and and all this kind of stuff? Can we get some hate group things happening with them? And can we get some
yeah.
injunctions on all these gangs that have N-word killer when they tag us up? And I'll land there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Look, the anti-black hatred out here, man, is from top to bottom. You know, when you're getting it from the city council members, you drive around Compton, Long Beach, and you see NK all on the wall. So this is the problem. We've been telling y'all this for the longest. Remember, on my YouTube channel, if you go to my YouTube channel about a week or so ago, I had my OG homie Bride Dog from Compton talking about the politics of the streets and how that anti Black American sentiment is coming from a lot of these white supremacist Hispanics out here, even on the street level, and how heavy it is. So we've been warning people about this for a minute, man. And we're warning people to keep them safe out here so we don't walk into traps running around talking about a one-sided black brown coalition. That sounds idealistic, but we just have to deal with the reality. We sat up here and empowered a bunch of people who are turning against us openly. That is a major problem. You know? Let's get a couple of more people in here because we got a lot of folks in here. I ain't gonna be on here all night. I'll be here all night chopping it up with the family. And let's get melanated. I can't pronounce your name. Melanated something. Melanated something. Hop on. All right. What's up? There.
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. I want to shout out the FBA, FBA and B1 family out there. I'm calling out of Minnesota. I just want to big up you and your whole movement, from the movies to the music to definitely this Black and Brown coalition. Me for one, when I first started learning about Black and Latin America, about how many Black people was down there in Latin America, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But then when you got to speaking on how the Black and Brown coalition really ain't that, or what it seems to be, living here in Minnesota, Minneapolis, you see Mexicans all over the place. You got some darker skinned Mexicans, you got more of the white Mexicans. But when it really comes to getting stuff done, just like you've been preaching, they ain't really with it. They ain't with it at all unless they can get more out of it than us. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
They'll
Right. And
definitely they'll definitely
that's the
tag
problem.
them on.
When we start talking about reparations, they start getting hostile. They're the main ones getting hostile. Remember, we start talking about reparations, and this some of these white Hispanic anti-black racists, they're hostile because if the whole narrative is anything we get, they're supposed to get. They're so entitled to getting everything we get. Every single thing we get, they're supposed to get. We've sat up here and let this sense of entitlement build up to the point where the minute we start talking about getting something for us, these folks start talking about, hey, wait a minute, what kind of nonsense is that? What we supposed to get it first? Like, what? And I blame some of our black elected officials. We've sat here and pushed that thing way too long. That black and brown coalition, we pushed it too long. Let's get Global Eye Productions. What's up, Global Eye? Turn your microphone on, sir.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's going on, Tariq, man? I just wanted to just chime in on that. Yeah, it's been a lot of that black and brown thing going on for a very long time. I'm glad you are really going.
Okay, brother, your phone was hella janky. I don't know what kind of phones y'all got out here, man. That phone was janky. I really couldn't hear you, brother. You got to call back. Ren Fax, hop on. Ren Fax. And y'all cannot have your phone janky. If your phone janky, I just got to hang up, man. Ren Facts, hop
Hello?
on.
Hello?
What's up, Ren?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ren. Where you from, man?
Yeah, I'm in the Caribbean, Dominica. And what I want to ask you, do you see the politics in Mexico where the drug cartels, the mayor, Tawana, that it spilled over into Los Angeles?
Yeah. A lot of it spills over here and to other cities too. A lot of the stuff spills over to Chicago, New York, Texas. So a lot of the stuff that happens there, it spills over to here because of the illegal trades and the drug trades and the gun trades and all of that stuff. So yeah, we see it.
And also, have you heard a response from like Maxine? I haven't heard anything from her. And I think that, do you think they've thrown this in at the last minute where they've got this mayoral, so they may try and switch it to this guy instead of this other woman. I forget who is it one. This got this mayor coming up.
That I'm not sure. I got to look into it. But again, basically, they just exposed some anti-black white Hispanics, man, and a lot of people are pretending to be shocked, and they know how the get down has been. They know has what it has been for a long time. Now you're over there in the Dominicana, right?
No, Dominica, it's in between Guadeloupe and Martinique, a small island.
Is that the one where those white supremacists tried to raid it in the 1980s?
No, that's Grenada. But what I find, I used to live in London before, and I
Yeah,
find that even though my parents are from there, they're against foreigners. Like I'm a black person and I'm different. I speak different from them in the Caribbean. And
yeah,
it's not easy to mix with people from the Caribbean if you're not from there. You understand?
yeah. How long did you live in London?
60 years. So
Oh,
our parents are from there. So like as I return back, they're very sort of like, oh, you're from England, you're a foreigner. And that's the mentality. So when they come to America, they bring that with them as well.
yes, indeed. But you know what? The thing is, they did try to raid Dominica. It was something called Operation Red Dog. I remember like 1981. Um, there was a white supremacist group they were going to take over that island because it's a small island. So they got in some boats, they got some guns. It was Don Black, the guy who has the Stormfront website, and they went over there to try to take over that island. They took a boat over there and they were going to take that island over, but it got thwarted somehow. But yeah, I remember that island. The white supremacists from America were going to try to take that over. Google Operation Red Dog. Something like that
Oh,
happened in Canada too, but y'all Google Operation Red Dog. They tried to take over that island, some white supremacists from over here. You know, real interesting
all right.
history. But anyway, thank you so much for the call, brother.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice
that
one.
island. Yeah, 1981. Um, it was that white supremacist Don Black. Don Black owned. He started the website Stormfront. I'm talking. These are some hardcore white supremacists, and they saw that island was not militaristically strong, so they said, "Let's just get a boat and go over there and take over, turn it into a white supremacist enclave," and it got thwarted somehow. You know, I think David Duke might have been involved in that too somehow. I want to say David Duke was somehow involved in that. Yeah, they created like a little. They got the Klan. It was a real. It was a heavy thing at the time. That's why the white supremacist groups in the 80s, they were really trying to establish themselves because they took such an L in the 60s and 70s. I want y'all to understand, and we talk about this in my new movie, American Maroon. Them white supremacists got the business in the 70s. When you had groups like the Black Panthers, the Black Liberation Army, the Mau Mau's out of Chicago, the white supremacists were getting the business. So the white supremacists had to lay real low in the 1970s. They getting their ass toe up. Y'all remember growing up in the 70s, we didn't experience too much open racism. You didn't see white boys running around yelling nigga. You didn't see all of that in the 70s and early 80s like that. You didn't see that. That whole white boys running around with that nigga talk, that's the 90s. That started in the 90s. You dig? But in the 70s and 80s, you didn't see that. White boys would get stomped the hell out doing that stuff. Back in the day, we were looking for somebody to run around us trying to do anything remotely related to white supremacy. We were looking for folks to try that on us back in the day. It was not popping for them. The white supremacists had to go deep underground in the 70s and early 80s. Black folks was not messing around then. Folks started getting a little softer in the late 90s. That's when we started softening up in the late 90s. But that's a whole nother topic. Let's get a couple of more people in here. We'll be in here all night. Let's get let's get Mr. O in here. Let's get Mr. O. Hop on, Mr. O. Mr. O, where are you, sir?
I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now, Tariq?
There you go. What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, not much. I'm calling in straight from Chicago. I found it crazy that Chicago and LA have similar type of political powers and infrastructures that's going on right now. Yeah, the black and brown myth here in the city is going on as well. But the thing is, we was always segregated as far as the black and brown. But now, as this inflation and this how this economy going, we are being more mixture, and now crime is getting more rampant. Now, even more, they even trying to bring up the whole hip hop argument and even the gang element here in Chicago. They trying to say that Hispanic gangs should just go ahead and take over since there's more of Hispanics here than it is black folks. And since black folks in Chicago and urban gangs, they don't want to go ahead and get together. They want to go ahead and continue the same urban street politics from the 70s, 80s, 90s, OM to now. They saying that they want to go ahead and take over that too. So I don't understand when it's time for us to band up to be together, they want to be all hands in hand. But when they want reparations or when we want reparations, we want to go ahead and continue our political excellence and even our economic excellence. It's always one they want to go ahead and try to piggyback off of us. It's like Martin Luther King and Hugo Caesar Chavez all over again. They can have their own
Yeah,
movement, but they gonna have to hijack ours to make theirs more amplified. How you feel about that?
real talk. And right now, man, it's like a hostile takeover of our cultures. See, there's a correlation between what's going on with the political structure out here, the whole hip hop and conversation with the Fat Joes and these people running around talking about how they are the ones who created hip hop 50/50. Do you know how hostile that is? Number one, not only is it a blatant lie, but that's like, yeah, we're bogarting your culture. This is why we're not taking that stuff that's going on the East Coast with Fat Joe and those guys. We're not taking that lightly. That's them trying to bogart the culture. That's a hostile takeover. They're looking around now saying, hey, look, we Hispanics, we got a lot of large numbers out here. So now let's go for broke. So now let's pull rank. So now let's act as the colonizers against these niggers. That's what that's about. And y'all still running around here, Negroes talking about a damn black-brown coalition. And a lot of it is fear. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of niggas are scared. Y'all going around with the coalition talk because you don't want to be on the bad side of the anti-black white Hispanics. You don't want to be on their bad side. No, get that fear out your system. That fear ain't gonna help you. Let's keep it a buck. Stop being scared. Stand on truth. Do not ever be afraid to stand on truth. Anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. I've been on here for an hour. A lot of folks in here. Thank everybody for tuning in. Let me shout out some of the Hispanics who's listening. There's a lot of Hispanics listening. Shout out to you who do call out some of the racism. You need to be more amplified, and we need more people like you to call out the anti-black racism within your community, because I will give credit where credit is due. There have been some Hispanic folks out here who's been calling out some of those anti-black white Hispanic city council members. I will give you credit where credit is due. We need more of that. And y'all need to be telling us about these people from the giddy up so that we don't find out from no secret recordings. If y'all see this stuff going on, y'all say what's happening. Because let me tell you something. If Maxine Waters and Karen Bass were caught on tape saying disparaging stuff about white Hispanics, do y'all know how many reparations checks will be written to Hispanic organizations? They hit our pockets. Remember when Nick Cannon said things about the Jewish community, which he really didn't? They started hitting Nick Cannon up for money. You saw that? Nick Cannon had to donate to all types of synagogues, which is what they're going to do to Kanye next. Oh, Kanye is about to start writing some synagogue checks real soon. They start hitting your paper up. Oh, you're going to have to start writing some checks, nigga. You see, if our elected officials were saying this type of stuff about Hispanic groups or Asian groups, it would be hate crime bills flying left and right. They already got them, but there would be more. They would have hate crime bills and money allocated to all of these different groups. We need to start doing that now. Because, like I said, so many black people, especially in LA, these city council people are the ones who allocate and kind of control where a lot of resources go. And we see why there's so much resource deprivation with black people out here in Los Angeles in particular. Because these people have this anti-black venom and they go out of their way to deprive our people of the resources, the dollars, the jobs, and the supervisory positions and the raises that they need in order to survive. This is why we have so many homeless black people out here. That has to stop. We have to let the city know. They have to make this right through tangibles. Y'all need to give our black people in LA tangibles because of this. We need money for our people. The California Reparations Task Force, this is definitely going to be brought up at the next meetings. I'm going to make sure that this narrative is brought up when they have the next meetings and hearings at the California Reparations Task Force. This is why we need reparations out here in California, nationwide, but California in particular in this instance. This is the reason why we cannot thrive and survive like we need to. And we got the head of the LA City Council member board talking about black children are monkeys. No, no, no. Black folks, let's get on code with this. Let's be focused with this. Let's make sure that we get those tangibles and let's get it for us. Anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here, man. I thank everybody for tuning in. Y'all go get my book, man, Foundational Black American Race Beta. Available now on Amazon, or you can get it at officialfba.com, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Puppy Akute and Lola Vuve to the family. Peace.